Okay, guys. So, what am I up to now? I have been studying today and looking at stuff about the pro-life movement, and I am looking at dealing with the mother-daughter relationship in this. So, what I did was I had, for years, I took some counseling with Grace for the Wounded group. I've read books on the toxic mother-daughter relationship. And we have seen a lot of books out now about the narcissist mother, the narcissist, okay? So, not to be, in a way that's really critical, I'm just mentioning that, yes, that is part of a relationship with your mother, that there is some narcissist mothers. Thousands of women have been helped, thousands of daughters have found freedom from that. So I would say that my mother, yeah, there was narcissist tendencies, and my grandmother definitely narcissist. So when we deal with abortion, we want to get to the very, very bottom of what is going on. So a lot of mothers feel like their daughters are just an extension of themselves, which I was, an object, a trophy, acting differently in public than in private. And then there's just a whole array of things, right? So, I was at the plasma place today, and I have like this bruise on my arm, right? And they're just like, wow, it hasn't healed yet. And I'm like, no, I've had it since last week, and I started taking vitamin C. So as I'm like, I want to use my left arm because I've used my four times now. I've used my right arm, and I want to give my right arm a break. So he's like, wouldn't that be weird if that bruise was from the plasma, like indirectly? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if it's from that. And he goes, how did you get that? And I'm like, I have no idea. I bruise easy. I don't remember. And he's like, I usually don't register something when I rub up against something or hit something until after. He'll be like, where did I get that? And that's kind of how I am. So, so he poked me, to find my vein. And I'm like, I've been sharing how this whole medical plasma thing has brought back, memories from that trauma when I had the abortion. So, he poked me, and then I'm like, ow. And then he was moving the needle in my arm. Yeah. And I'm not looking, and I'm like, ow, 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 ow. I'm like expressing myself. I'm like, that hurts. And so he's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, is that better? I'm like, pull it out a little because it's hurting. So he did, and we were good. Everything's fine, except my arm still hurts. So, so along those lines, I was thinking, Melissa, when you had this forced abortion, you didn't say a word. There was not a word. I went to the sheep who goes to the slaughter. Nobody was there for me. I didn't say a word, and I'm like, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you say, this hurts, or, I'm scared to death of what's going on right now? But I just totally froze. My whole body froze, and I couldn't say anything. So, a lot of times too, the narcissist mother will not let you say how you feel. Your feelings are just pushed aside as, oh, you're too sensitive. And that's what I heard from my mother. Or, oh, toughen up. Or, oh, this. Or, oh, that. So you want to get to the bottom of it, and you want to be able to see the narcissist ways so that you can heal even more. So I believe, and this is where I'm going kind of with the pro-life movement, is I believe the mother-daughter relationship is the biggest relationship a woman can have growing up, even above her friends. I think it's the mother who really sets the tone for everything in her life. And not to blame her for my adult relationships, but there's stuff left over. You take responsibility for yourself, but there's still stuff left over. And you have to work through it, which I have done for years. And I talked in a video of how I put strong boundaries up, and I'm like, you're not coming over, my kids are napping. Guess what? I just wanted to come by to do this, or I'm in the neighborhood, so I figured I'd come on over anyways. So, the strong boundaries need to be there. Not all narcissist mothers affect their daughters the same way. I mean, fortunately, I went to school and I had space to grow, you know. My mother was raising her, 9 brothers and sisters with a narcissist mother. So she was definitely affected more. Definitely the day-to-day contact was much more with her. I went to school, I had friends. I still say I, enjoyed my childhood. Most of it was in school with my friends. So I did enjoy that. But yeah, the needs of the kid, of the daughter, it's usually daughters, are affected. Sons are too, but daughters are extremely affected. There's a lot of neglect. There's no attention. I know my grandmother was always someone who was like, oh, I need all your attention to my mother. I'm not happy unless you come take me shopping, or manipulating her, crying if we didn't go over. So there is a lot of gaslighting. There's a lot of manipulation. I was definitely manipulated into abortion. So we need to heal women at that level. And I feel like abortion is it's not just an abortion. It is a sign of something very, very deeply wrong in a family to allow a teen girl to have an abortion. The mother's either not involved, or she's got issues to allow her daughter, or to choose if she did, or to force her. And even when girls choose, they may think, okay, I'm choosing not to be in trouble, or I'm choosing not to be fat, or whatever. They're not always choosing everything they get with an abortion, and this is why we see so many women saying nowadays, I didn't know. So that mother-daughter relationship is the biggest, role model for your daughter, and it's the biggest wound. So when there's an abortion, it's just a Band-Aid that is being put on a daughter just to solve a problem, but it really doesn't solve it. It actually makes it worse, because now you are no longer usually going to be close to your mother after something like that. So I think fathers need to be there to protect their daughters, and they're not always there because the mother just takes care of the daughter. So this is kind of like what I'm saying. I think, the trauma of all this, it's not just the trauma of abortion, it's the trauma of having a narcissist mother with the mother-daughter relationship. And we really need to get to the bottom of that. Today, when I was at Barnes and Noble's, I picked up a book too about this. And I've since researched different books about this. And the lady, this older woman, older than me, she's like, you're buying that? And I'm like, I'm not sure. I just need to see first if there's a discount on this. And she's like, okay, the online discount is $2 off for you. And I'm like, I don't know. That's kind of still expensive. And she was being pushy with me. And I do not like pushy people, pushy salespeople. I just don't. And so she was really, like, well, if you use your rewards card, there's no money off. It's just rewards. And are you going to buy it? And I was just like, I'm not sure. I'm thinking. She's like, well, she just kept going on about it. And I felt like I didn't have a minute to think. And I really had to, go within my core and say, Melissa, this is your decision. Do not let her push you into this. And I was just like, no, I'm not going to buy it right now. I said, I'll come back another time. And I did not buy it. And she's like, okay, fine. And put the book away, like she was upset that I chose not to buy it. But here I am thinking of buying a book about a narcissist mother. One of the, symptoms of a narcissist mother is to push her daughter into stuff. And here I am with a pushy salesperson. So I'm just like, that was weird, God. When I walked out of there, I'm like, that was strange. That was my decision, and she had a problem with it. So again, it's the strong boundaries, and it's the strong self-care that's going to pull you out of it. So that's what I got for now, guys. Thanks for joining me.